at one point everything started to like, is this an earthquake or something?
Celine Dion is a true fighter. The 55-year-old singer has fought for her family and career, and now she's fighting for her own life. So what gives Celine strength in her numerous battles and challenges? Very frustrating news. In early 2022, Celine Dion postponed the rest of her Courage World Tour. The singer had to leave the big stage for a hospital bed. After giving iconic performances for over 3 decades, Celine felt like a fish out of water. She said that interacting with fans was her biggest source of energy and inspiration. Dion had tears in her eyes when she spoke about having to pause her touring plans.
And it's very frustrating for me. And I wanted you to know that I'm sorry for this news.
And at the end of last year, Celine Dion unveiled more shocking news.
Recently, I've been diagnosed with a very rare neurological disorder called stiff person syndrome, which affects something like 1 in a million people.
This illness causes severe muscle spasms all over her body.
These spasms affect every aspect of my daily life and not allowing me to use my vocal cords to sing the way I'm used to.
The hardest aspect of this story is that no one knows when Celine will return to the stage. There is no cure for her disease yet. All she can do is just relieve her suffering through medical treatment and some exercises. And the singer is trying her best. She's hired a whole team of professionals to help her get back on her feet. Although Celine can't tour right now, she still expresses her talent in other ways. She took part in the romantic comedy Love Again starring Priyanka Chopra and Sam Heughan.
Love comes to those who believe it, and this is really me.
Dion also revealed that the movie will include her new music. The news thrilled her online community, and the star says that the support from her fans makes her life brighter. She also has a great team of cheerleaders at home, her 3 sons. Celine shared that they won't let her give up the fight against her health issues.
And my precious children, who are supporting me and giving me hope.
The singer has said before that she sees the love of her life, her late husband René Angélil, in the eyes of her kids. But even following her heart about who she loved was a tough path. 2 against the whole world. René is the one who discovered Celine's talent. He and Dion met in a music studio when she was 12, and she had only just started singing. René was fascinated by Celine's unique voice.
And he started to cry.
Angélil became the girl's agent. He even mortgaged his own house to fund her first record. Celine did everything she could to live up to René's expectations. In her teenage years, she won several awards and performed all over the world, from New York to Tokyo. When she was 20, she had already won the Eurovision. During the celebration of her first big achievement, she realized that René was more than just a manager for her.
It was a different kiss goodnight.
You were 20?
I was 20 years old. That's right. I started to, after this kiss goodnight in Dublin, on the lips for the first time, my whole body started to shake. And then I said to myself, well, maybe that's love.
Yet, in the years that followed, they somehow managed to conceal their relationship from the public. The silence all centered around one problem: their 26-year age difference. They wanted to avoid public judgment and save their careers. Everything was at risk. The romance between the mature producer and his young protege looked too cliched and scandalous. Even Celine's mother, who had always backed her, didn't approve.
My mom always wanted to protect me. He's been married 2 times before. He's got 3 children. Come on, Celine. I want the Prince of Charm for you.
But alas, nothing the concerned mother said worked.
You know he's the only man in my life. I never met another man in my life.
Never was
I
with
never
him?
saw, I was never with another man in my life.
The 2 soulmates got engaged in private. And when Celine was 26, she and René tied the knot. This time, it was a public affair that was even broadcast on Canadian television. After being forced to hide their love for so long, their joy was finally out in the open, gaining the most important role. In her early 30s, Celine had everything: insane fame, fans around the world, lots of money, and a loving husband. But she wanted one more thing: to become a mother. Unfortunately, it wasn't an easy road. In her attempts to get pregnant, the singer underwent a lot of medical treatments, including 2 surgeries. Unfortunately, all was in vain, until the IVF treatment worked. So when the singer was 33, she and René welcomed their first son, René Charles. The couple was on cloud 9.
Honestly, we're very blessed. We have a wonderful child. We're extremely happy.
As the youngest of 14 siblings, Celine had always wished for a large family. She was very keen to provide René Charles with a brother or sister, but having a second child was way more traumatic. It took almost 10 years and 6 IVF cycles. All those failed pregnancies left the singer heartbroken.
You always think of that. I'm sure every woman who has that experience still has a feeling about the little one that's not there.
When the actress was 41 and had almost lost hope of becoming a parent again, she was blessed with twins.
I still look at them and I still can't believe it. I can't believe it.
After Celine had her first son, she decided that her children would be her priority. She didn't want to tour 200 days a year anymore. However, quitting her favorite craft wasn't an option for her either. The singer decided to create a residency in Las Vegas so she could give performances and always be with her family. It seemed to be the perfect option for the singer. Her husband found investors who built a concert hall especially for the iconic Titanic singer. What could go wrong? Titanic is not going to sink again. When Celine moved to Las Vegas to get ready for the show, she learned one important thing. The air in that region is extremely dry, and singing under those conditions was really difficult for Celine. Just 2 weeks before her Las Vegas premiere, she lost her voice.
I got really sick. And I got sick with a bronchitis and a sinus infection and asthma and the whole shebang. And I was brand new in Las Vegas. I was not adjusted to the climate over there. Living in a desert, singing in a desert, is quite difficult.
However, there was no turning back. So the singer had to gather her strength and still go on stage. As always, Celine killed it. The tickets to her concerts were sold out months in advance. Even though it wasn't easy, Celine found a way to do her best in the difficult conditions. Her team supplied humidity on stage. The performer also had special rituals to keep her voice in good shape.
Before the shows and after the shows, I have a machine that I do some bronchosaline. I humidify my nose with saline every day.
However, Las Vegas held another blow for her. Rumors swirled in the entertainment industry that Celine Dion was destroying her career by performing in Vegas. Back in the 2000s, Sin City was a place where artists ended their careers.
They didn't believe in it. They said the Titanic is going to sink again and Celine Dion is going to finish her career there.
It was frustrating for Celine. She was only in her 30s, so she had to work twice as hard to prove that it was just a new beginning for her. She impressed the audience with choreography, decorations, and new emotional songs. Her efforts paid off. Celine was labeled Queen of Las Vegas and made it a prestige spot for top artists. After Celine, other stars like Madonna, Jennifer Lopez, Adele, and more all performed in Vegas.
What I can say about it is that I am very proud of it, very excited about it.
And the singer returned there even after the biggest tragedy of her life, the loss of her husband. Losing half of you. Celine Dion spent more than 30 years with the love of her life, René Angélil. And in that time, the couple experienced a life and death struggle twice. 5 years after the couple tied the knot, René was diagnosed with cancer. The couple spent a long year trying to beat it.
You went through the chemo and the radiation. We went through this together.
That time, the spouses won the fight. Celine shared that such a trial only made their bond stronger. The two even organized one more wedding ceremony as a celebration, and Dion dedicated her next album to her husband. Unfortunately, the cancer came back 15 years later. This time, things were much worse.
It's not getting any easier because time passes. We're not getting younger. It's harder to fight.
During the second round of the disease, René got weaker with every passing day. Celine had to take care of him all the time.
He's got a feeding tube. I have to feed him 3 times a day. And
you did so much of this yourself.
I do this myself.
The singer only separated from her husband to do her performances. Once, René called her before a concert.
So the phone rings and he said, I just want you to wish you a great show and to tell you that I love you.
Sadly, it turned out to be their last conversation. Celine shared that the news about losing her husband broke her heart into pieces.
You're never ready for something like this to happen.
Even though you expect it, when it hits you, you're not prepared. It's hard.
It was extremely difficult for her to get back to making new songs after such a tragedy.
It took a while to record the album. It was a process. Losing a half of you because we were partners, we were one.
Now, years later, the singer has learned to take inspiration from other things in her life. Her kids, nature in her native country, and of course, love. The singer is never disappointed in that feeling. She shared that her heart will still go on. We hope Celine gets better soon and can return to what she does best, sharing her love from the stage.